In the Utranyaya, we have something called a suitcase trick. We would put a suitcase down over a hidden trapdoor, and one by one we'd disappear into it. The audience loved it. This trick, though, is much, much better. Do we all leave from the suitcase as well? I remember Miss Winsong took me out on a day like this and taught me how to measure the angle of the solar zenith. She said I had a natural talent for it. It was amazing to discover that light and distance could be measured so easily.
Теперь, Алия, тебе пора начать вести себя как взрослая. И первое, что делают взрослые, это находят работу. Но сначала мне понадобится подходящий наряд, бант и новые туфли. Думаю, мне нужна помощь. Рамка может запереть вас внутри, когда вы не смотрите. Риск становится еще выше, когда рядом никого нет. Это мне напоминает волшебный ящик, который мы использовали в цирке. Только у нас была кнопка для его управления. Я должна убедиться, что никто не останется здесь один.
Look, I've just ironed my favorite dress. It's looking almost as good as new now. I know it's a little old, but I love it so much. I'm glad I'm not the only early riser here. Back in the circus, we'd be out of bed while the stars were still twinkling in the twilight. Then it was straight to the sink. Nothing better to wake you up than some ice-cold water. The circus moved a lot, and sometimes we didn't have time to set up before the first big show. Then we'd have to put our costumes on right over our pajamas. They always bunched up around the sleeves, and it looked so messy. What a nightmare.
Однажды ночью, когда я пошла проведать Машу, моего медвежонка, я увидела, как она плакала у костра. Скучала ли она по своей маме?
When I first started training, I thought there'd be a fire in the rocket that I could hang on to while I was in space. But it turned out that I was all on my own up there. So I had to imagine one. It took a lot of practice. I'm still a little clumsy finding my balance in zero-G, but I'm sure I'll get better and better. That's so sweet of you. That reminds me of something that happened in space. Everything was silent. The stars were twinkling all around me. And suddenly, it felt like they became this big hand, patting me on my head just like you did. Where I'm from, the air gets bitterly cold in the winter. My hands would get so dry and swollen. I haven't felt that once since I moved in. It always seems warm here, though I don't think I'll ever forget that itchy, awful pain. I sometimes wonder when my time on the wire will end. Will I make it past 20? Past 30? Eventually, my body will be too heavy, and my joints too sore and stiff. But until then, there's no point in worrying about it. I once visited a shop in Leningrad. They had a brooch there with this great big ruby on it. I must have stood in front of the window for an hour trying to fit myself into its reflection. But it was too big for me. Maybe I just found it at the wrong time, and one day I'll see it again, when it's ready to fit me. I think your hat must be happy it's on your head, not mine. When you defy gravity as much as I do, top hats are out of the question, no matter how cool. It's made for someone like you. Someone that stands firmly on the ground. When I was younger, I always wished I had a friend. Someone just like you. We would have shared our toys, braided each other's hair, tried on clothes together. And then, we'd get to grow up together. There is a story I heard when I was young, about a paradise far away in the north. A place with an eternal spring under a golden sun. They told me everyone finds their way there, eventually. I don't know if it's true, but it gives me hope when I am scared. That one day I'll see all my family again. I used to worry about Miss Lorelei and Miss Cristallo's health, but I guess they seem happy with their lives. Miss Lorelei taught me how to listen to her conch, and Miss Cristallo likes to read her hometown's fairy tale to me.
Все, кто живут в чемодане, относятся к жизни очень серьезно. Но, по крайней мере, для них жизнь кажется прекрасной.
Mr. Kozlov would always paint my face before each show. He told me I had to show the crowd a bright smile. It's hard to smile when you're trying to keep your balance, but I learned. Now, thanks to you, I don't need to worry about falling when I want to smile. I'll keep an eye on everyone.
Держись, Алия.
Hold your breath. Or maybe take a deep breath. I can always find peace up on the wire. What a wonderful journey. The stars were just out of reach. But only for an instant. I've got your back.
Так ярко и тепло. Даже далеко в космосе. Все равно здесь, со мной.
Bye! That seems dangerous. Was I able to take care of everyone?
Моя семья вывела меня из большого шатра на металлическую крышу Лапласа, а мои друзья забрали меня оттуда и отправили в космос. Я не знаю, если был ли это когда-либо мой выбор, но у меня есть ощущение, что в дальнейшем я наконец-то смогу принимать решения для себя.
Everyone holds their breath when I'm up on the wire, but as soon as I get to the other end, they burst out with cheers and applause. I like to think my act inspires them to face the challenges in their own lives.